seminars. I think my first ever seminar that wasn't at like one of my team gyms. They were there.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're crazy. Those are some cool guys.
They were like, oh. But then they caught on. So that was my question. Like, that's why I wanted to know what you were working on now, because I don't want people to get out of it.
Well, what I've been doing is I mix it with the false reap. And I've been working on some false reap, like alternative things as well. Just everyone's kind of, you know how it is in Nogi, everyone sees one thing and everyone locks in and then nobody can hit it until somebody comes up with the next thing. But I feel like the false reap position is a good one because it's not one move, it's just the entry and it's so easy to get to there.
Correct.
But I mix that with the calf slicer because the false reap and the calf slicer are like, it's like a Del Eva, reverse Del Eva. It's the exact opposite, so they can kind of work together where how people will defend the calf slicer entry, they're giving you the false reap, and then when people do a good job defending the false reap, it gives room to switch to the calf slicer. Just because people.
I'm sorry, can you demonstrate that?
Yeah. So come on. When we're here, the first thing I'm trying to do is when I'm coming in. Remember, I want cross, and I'm trying to come over. But in this position, what most people want to do is extend that leg and start to back out. But then I'll just switch to a false reap, and I'll go inside. So if they want to straighten that leg out, then I'll just go. Or if they want to keep that leg bent at an angle where I can't calf slice or start standing up, it's giving me the false reap. And in the same way, when you false reap, people don't want you to get that leg out.
Correct.
So they're doing everything to keep that leg trapped. Once I get to this elevated position, I'll switch, and now I'm just going to belly out on the calf slicer. So I'll just keep this momentum coming outside, and most people are trying to bring that leg back. But if he's hooking real hard, I'm just going to drop my butt and my knee to the mat, and then I'm here. So it's giving me, they work together. And the main thing I've been thinking of is just the foot placement to not get hit with those. It's not a good angle to get a inside heel hook because there's no way to stop your turn. But just like that one Gianni hit way back at Emerald City, you can still hit it, especially if you're going with that much force. So just hiding my foot on both of the attacks. So not really playing here per se. And if I do play here, I'm going to come up and try to control. But trying to get underneath to this position has been working a lot for me, and it just works. They work together. But the threat for the false reap is really what will open up that calf slicer.
You're switching grips and then you're rolling on.
Yeah, so it just I like the calf slicer with the cross arm. For the false reap, you need same side arm. So as I'm coming here, when I see that I can't do the back leg scoop here, when they're defending that, I'll just switch because there's going to be space. And then from here, I'm just trying to belly out instead. So I just change the angle.
Now, are they doing anything where you can take the back?
Yeah, from here I can take the back. Like say somebody has a really good defense or he just did a good job extending that leg. I'll just drop back out into like a drag position and then I'll just attack towards the back.
I like that.
So it works together and just the false reap is already a strong spot. So just adding in another danger. Because I'm pretty good at defending false reaps, but the main thing is not letting them get that bottom, their leg free on the bottom.
So you're purposely trapping their leg sometimes.
Yeah, it's like if you do the good defense, I have something for you, and it's something that not a lot of people are paying attention to right now. It's like the same system with why it's so easy to barrage a lot of people right now because people aren't picking up onto it. Once they pick up onto it, it'll be hard to get, but it's going to open up stuff in return. You'll get the omoplatas, the Kimura will be there because they're going to be fighting hard to get those arms out, the triangles. A lot of stuff's going to open up.
I like that.
So same thing that you were saying, and like I've been drilling that, like drilling the move in movement, right? So where I get that same entry, right? So here, catch that, and I'm not having any trouble here. Right. So with a good footlock guy, they're staying heavy on, or what does he do? He's peeling my foot over.
Keeping it here.
Yeah. So then I was like, all right, let me switch to that other thing that we talked about. But so like, for what you just did, you brought this foot on the inside to keep the...
And that's going to help kind of extend and keep my hips from being able to drop as heavy because you can elevate and push me away.
Okay.
And then from here, you're just changing the goal pretty much. You're not just trying to crank you're trying to get your shoulder and your knee into the mat. And you extend your hips into me. Just like you're bellying out on the arm bar. So but keep this to push me away. Extend me away. You can even use your hand to stiff arm away first. and then you just straight tuck this shoulder under yourself, and now we're coming at this angle.
Okay.
But you
Now
had a
it's-
different arm. You had the left arm. You had your left.
Originally, I had the left, but once you get to this angle is where I would switch it. But you could, if you fight from the calf slicer the whole way, you can get it there too.
Yeah.
So like right here, I feel like you can get your foot out from the false read,
Yeah.
even though you're not quite at the arm in for it. It's still a very similar attack. And if I'm fighting really hard to get it in, it just depends on which arm you want to use.
False read right here.
So you're here.
Yeah.
And if you feel like I do a good job of weaving, you know, some guys are really good at weaving back in.
Right.
So if, however I could get my leg, say you're inverted, and I could get my leg back through, which I can't even get at this angle. But if I were to get my leg back in or stop you from getting to here, you would just stay with the cross arm and attack the calf slice.
That's right.
So you have both options there.
Yeah.
But you also have that straight ankle lock.
Yeah, you get straight ankle as well. People kind of don't respect the straight ankle locks in no gi anymore, but
That's how
a good straight ankle is going to do what it's supposed to do. People kind of
That's what you could have called a knee bar.
yeah. It's a very difficult position for me as a defender. I'm like,
Yeah, and being inverted with your legs straight like that. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
bad
and
position.
your mind priority wise always goes inside heel hook. No inside heel hook, but that opens up everything else. So it's like you almost could not even think for as an attacker, like I'm not even going to go inside heel hook. I just want to make you think I am, because you're going to give me the knee bar, the ankle lock, the calf slicer. You're going to give me your back. You're going to give me something because you have to defend. You have to defend the inside heel hook urgently. It's the only submission you can't really try to grit your teeth through. You either have that weird flexibility that most of us don't have, or your leg's going to pop. You can kind of fight out of knee bars and deal with some hyperextension. You could decide to let your ankle pop, but the inside heel hooks, it's like if you don't have the flexibility, you're tearing something.
Yeah, it's a bear trap.
So you have to respect it, and because of that respect, you're just getting everything else open as well. So I like that transition a lot. It also works from the pass position because we're entering into
like
the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Say I'm entering into. Yeah, I'm faking the drag, where I just do my step over and go right into here. If they start coming up to try to attack sweep and I hook, I'll just switch to false read, and now I'm coming in here. So it works both ways. Or I can lead with this. Then he's gonna fight up to get his leg extended or his leg bent more so to not let me get the false read pin. Or he'll keep this pin and try to pin knee to the mat, and I'll just switch, and then I'll belly out. So the belly out's been adding just another level of danger to it. Because I'm personally, like, Muhammad's put me in a calf slicer before, and it hurts, it burns, but I don't feel tearing danger. I don't feel nothing's gonna break. So it's just like, all right, I don't feel like tapping. Let me just deal with the pain so your arm tires out. But once you're inverted and somebody dropping all their weight back onto it, it's almost like doing the walls of Jericho on somebody. It adds another level of, okay, something's gonna give here. This doesn't feel like I could just sit here and at any moment you could just switch off and take the back.
And last time we talked about like the you know, the little bit of danger that you feel when you're doing it as far as the heel hook is concerned, right? So like, so like, go ahead, the calf.
So when I'm here, I do feel if somebody gets a big crank,
Yeah.
I just have to be mindful and take my arm out.
Okay. Cause that.
But what Dez did was he did that ankle lock from here. I don't know what the crowbar, however they call it, the kind of weird,
Russian thing.
yeah, like that weird ankle lock grip.
Can you?
Yeah, I got you.
I'll do it on the other.
Yeah, you can do it bad leg.
Yeah, you came here.
So this made me respect, and I was like, okay, because the turn is inside, but I'm blocking myself inside. When the turn's outside, I have all this. So if you go on heel hook, I have this. So it's not gonna hurt me that much. He could go for the heel hook, and if I get this angle, I feel like he can't crank it.
Correct.
But going the other way is working against.
Yeah.
So as he's cranking that, I feel like I need to turn here, but my arm's blocking. So now I have to come out.
And I can enter in the way you did from when you let go, right?
Yeah.
So you let go, I
Now
come
you
in
go
here.
right into it.
And you could attack as well, but you would need to get.
This leg on the outside.
But remember, you can lead with whatever leg and whatever arm you want. I just like to finish cross. So you can lead with that arm going through and this leg coming over as long as you switch. So you then punch the other one through, and then you switch or do the double cross over the top. Because the double cross here around my upper body is stopping me from being able to reach up. It's keeping me away. And I can't really attack a good heel hook here. And then you would just go hard belly out.
This one.
Yeah, you would go out, pin these to the mat, if you can get
That's
it.
pretty thick.
And then at this angle, it's already hurting bad.
Yeah.
And all you have to do there is just sit, just kind of push yourself up.
I like that.
So I did feel when Dev hit that crowbar, I was like, okay, I had to respect it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I'm stuck. It was just, you got me, I gotta come out of my attack. But then that's what led me to not kind of leaving this floating. Because before I would try to hook it just to keep you away.
Right.
But now I'm more so, I don't really need to focus on that as much. I'll come inside here, and I like being here as well. So that kind of takes all that away. And I mean, with the heel hook, so for Nogi, like as soon as you start to attack here, my attack's gonna be better.
Right.
I just have to do a quick transition off, and my attack here is gonna be better than yours is.
Okay.
And then we still have the darces, and if you want to get fancy, you come out and step over to the Barada Platas off of.
You know, I do want to see that as well as you did an entry from Crab Ride, or was it from?
Cool. Yeah.
No, he did it from Crab Ride, or was it from?
To the calf slicer or to?
Yeah, you transitioned from the barrel bowl into that to the calf slicer.
Oh yeah, got you.
I think I had it on tape, but I don't know.
Yeah, from here when we're inside,
Yeah.
this is more so when you don't have your legs settled.
Gotcha.
That's what kind of opens up. So if you're here and you're crossing and he's working on these feet, he's giving me this outside.
yes.
So I would just, as he's fighting over there, I would cut my angle and drop inside. And from here, I don't even need the full lock yet. I can just lock, and then as I fall into it, I can even keep his leg tied up here, so and I could try to finish my choke, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then the other option would be if I'm here and I see this arm floating around trying to dig my knee out. So if he's digging this knee out from here, I would just hook the arm. And as I'm coming out here, I can step over, and now I can start working into the Barada Plata situation. So it's going to give other options. And I feel like because it's attacking from an unorthodox spot, people aren't as comfortable defending. And because of that, they're not able to see what comes after. Like if you're putting something weird, you got to focus in on that. You don't have time to think about what else may be there. You got to get out of the immediate danger.
So back to that same question real quick. So on that, can you get me to post that leg, or is it me digging?
Yeah, I can get you to post. So if I'm here and we're attacking and I do take you this way, it's your choice to post, but if you don't post, you're just gonna fall. And for me, I'm gonna go to the belly out.
Yeah.
And once I'm crossed, I can kind of hand fight here as well if I wanted to. I can push this over, and then I can try to switch my grab. I can try to stuff this in and give it to my hand, and now I'm starting to trap more things in place. From here, I just make sure I slide up to the elbow. As I fall, I'm good.
Yep.
So it's giving me these options. You can go from the Barada Plata into the darts. You could start, everything kind of works together.
Yeah.
Just because you have such good control from this, you're kind of like from an outside angle where he can't get his legs involved.
Yeah.
So everything's kind of just whatever they give you. That you see their arms extended, you take it. You see the elbow while you take it. You could even just be simple and just go for a classic Kimura as well.
Sure that.
So as I'm fighting in here, especially if you get that post out, I'll just go get the wrist and come out. And I'll just throw the leg over, and I'll finish the classic one, or get them to roll, or go for the reverse triangle with this, whatever attack off of the Kimura you want to do. So you really get a lot of good options.
Correct.
And I can see potential triangles, I can see potential arm bars just from having that control and not being in danger, keeping your legs out of danger, and keeping them something that they have to keep their mind actively focused on. It just opens up so much stuff.
When you call it out, that's when I start seeing it. Like he says, all right, there's a Barada Plata. I'm like, all right, can you just show me? Because now when you say it, I do see all that stuff now. So it's perfect.
And for me, like, I focus on those transitions just because I train more in the gi. So I'm going calf slice into the Bravo, calf slice into the Barada Plata, calf slice into the Kimura, wrist lock, calf slice, and now go into the collar and start working collar chokes. But the false reap stuff I feel like is probably more solid just because that position's already so strong, and having another option from an already super strong position, like imagine Kieran or Diego Pateau, these guys who are really mastering this false reap, you finally learn how to defend it, and they just switch off to a cast slice and attack from another angle, it's going to be already like something worse to deal with.
Sure. And like, you know, just to, when I was defending the Bigelows, I would catch that, like catch the cast or catch that move, so then they can't like I can straighten my leg and hold that so they can't extend. And then what's happening as they figure that out, they would like pass it over and then but yeah, so like a lot of good stuff in there. I've also started to use the leg lace roll from that position. So when I go and try to get out like this, you take it and roll with it. Yeah. So do you sit back in on the attack? Because you were working that knee bar and so, the inside reap from there. So first, you know, just working with the lower belts, getting back, staying heavy, see if they can move. They can't move. They can't escape. So then I just climb up to the top. Yeah. Right. For the higher belts, I hold that control, and then go into like the Khabib style mount. Right. Yeah. But also, what I started to do this week was the knee bar. Right. Was to get rolling through and stepping over into the knee bar. Yeah. Step, like roll. The first thing they're gonna do in that situation is hands back, and start trying to scoot back. Exactly. There's not really much else you could do because if you stay here and commit your hands in, they're gonna climb anyways. Yeah. And they're gonna force you to your back. So you just commit. Exactly. So I ended up ended up here and over top here. Right. So then they started to walk back.
Oh, you hit right on me last week.
Yeah. So.
And then it's kind of like you get to pick which leg you want. Essentially, you can go knee bar, you can go inside reap, you can go outside heel attacks, ankle locks. Kind of your choice as to what you want to attack there.
Yeah, we gotta do that at some point. Go over that again. Have finalize some stuff on that. Yeah, and even in that transition, there's room for some like back reverse triangle type situation. So when you're in, I'll walk you through it. So you go into your leg lace, and when you do your step over, say I'm only posting with one hand here, this leg will just stay high and you just kick back. And now we're working from a situation here. And now the arms there, things are starting to be open just because I had the lace out.
It's an appropriate shirt for the occasion.
So you're literally
in the matrix now.
You're literally catching me in the process of doing one of the most natural things in Jiu Jitsu, which is if you're off balance, you put a hand down. Those are like the hardest positions to not get caught in because it's like I'm not going to just fall here. I have to put my hand down, but now I'm hesitant to do that.
So come in. So this is how I enter here. Yep. Catch 1, 2. They start trying to peel my foot out. I'll let you up here. Catch 1, 2, 3.
So here I'm trying to stay inside. Yep. I'm trying to scoot away. You roll. If you see that handprint, you can shoot back on the reverse triangle.
This one.
Yep. If you want to shoot back, if I fight inside, then you just can go back into the legs because I can't defend my legs good. And now from here, you get to decide which leg you want to climb, attack.
Man.
Could you rip a heel hook from there, or is it too?
I actually want. I don't want to. I want that.
Or Mikey locks.
This knee bar thing from here. How do you finish that one?
You would need to step this foot, but try to go under my glute and kind of lock my glutes in and pinch. And then from here, as you're rolling this knee to the mat, you kind of just bellying out on it and then hipping in that pressure. Because from here, I'm feeling the strain on the top leg, but I also feel the strain on the bottom leg. So you're essentially knee barring both. Yeah. And for me, it's like if I get this leg out, I'm still here. If I get this leg out, it's still going to be whichever one's extended. And you can Mikey lock from there as well, just because I'm already at this angle.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's yeah. So when we were doing it, I was watching the video. So up here, right?
Yep. So as you would fall, you get the heel, and as you cut back in, it's a bad Mikey lock because I don't have my other foot to defend. So all you need to make sure you're doing is a little bit lower because you want to be on this outside thigh of that bottom leg.
Is that top leg creating even more tension on the leg that's
it's not there? Tension, but I can't get out. It's like I can't get out. It's like just the same as when you're leg lace from 50-50. Something it's like it's not quite in danger, but you also can't get out. You're kind of frozen here because I need to get both legs out and he can keep this leg wedged in really well. And then even if I can get that leg out somehow, I'm still not defending myself yet. So I'm focusing on something that's not gonna save me from submission. It's just gonna give me some hope, and then he can still crank that. Because at this angle it's bad, and I have nowhere to go. I need to turn this way. I can't turn that way because it's gonna turn into a knee bar, and the pressure's already really high on the knee. So even if I could fight and get this, you're good. Yeah, get this out. I'm still not safe. Yeah. In fact, I'm giving him the straight knee bar or the Michael lock from here. He would just extend through. So I'd have to have like people can get out, but they have to have some. They're gonna have to let something pop. They're gonna have to let something give a little bit in order to get that next level, or they won't be able to even start a defense. And you got guys that are crazy like that. They'll let it pop the first time, especially if there is some hope to get out. But
that wedge,
that's a lot of work to try to get a leg out. Like that's you could deal with a pop if you're in the process of getting out. Not so much just here and just letting someone rip your leg for free and you're trying for 30 seconds just to get a leg out, just to start the turn. That's a different type of crazy that somebody had to be for that.
That's what Kynan did to what's his face on one of the who's number ones. Got that turnover.
Yeah. It's like a lot of people could deal with an initial pop off the adrenaline, but there has to be some hope attached to that. Nobody's just sitting in a position and can't get out and just. I've only seen one person do that. That's Jonathan. When he did his no-gi fight, he was just letting Tazza rip his heel, and he didn't really have. It didn't look like he had any means or knowledge of getting out. But he's a different level, like jiu-jitsu crazy. Where he's not. He was just letting his heel get ripped and his knee get ripped. Maybe he's flexible there. Has to be some type of flexibility. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody.
Has to be something.
Yeah, I've seen Gio, but even Gio is still actively trying to defend. It just looks like he's letting you crank it, but he's finding little like centimeters and inches where he's like, okay, I know I'm good here. Yeah. Let me look like I'm not defending, because he fights in those situations where if it looks like it was a dangerous submission, he'll lose the decision type of thing. But even he's defending and has some room because he ends up getting out of a lot of those attacks. He doesn't just get his leg cranked and then wait till they let go. Vinny Margulies used to do that until the Craig fight. That was the last time I see him not be able to do it because his knee just gave out. He didn't tap. He didn't even look like he was in pain, but his knee completely just gave out. So you're talking maybe 1 out of 50 elite competitors that can just sit in a heel hook and eat it. And even then, it's not making them win the match.
Yeah. I mean, those are all my questions.
No, yeah, for sure. So, like, I mean, a lot of that stuff is all combined. It's all coming together, right? So one of the things we started doing this week is the deep half, right?
Yep.
And so, here. So we're deep half. I'm gonna enter kind of that same way where this is gonna come over, right? False reap. Now I have a calf slice, like false reap.
Well, if I'm here and I'm like hooking and I'm trying to escape my leg out, at this moment you just switch it to the cross arm, and you just keep the momentum going out to the belly out.
Okay.
Yep. And you're trying to belly out and get this turn out here. So you see how my leg's at a weird angle here? Mm-hmm. Try to maneuver so that my foot, you need to drag this leg back. Yeah, here.
Okay. Here.
Because you want, so as we want it to this position, you see how my leg's here? You want it more square.
So I gotta pull it up.
Yeah, you need to pull it. And remember, you have to engage your butt into my foot. Like you want your butt coming towards my butt.
Like that.
Yep. And you want to keep everything as square as possible. In this angle, you can attack its pressure on the outside of the knee, but it's not quite the calf slice pressure. So what you need to do, let me show. Yep. So when you're stuck in a position where it's at this angle, so you're working deep half, we're elevating, you're bringing us all the way over, and we get into the situation here. Now, if I'm attacking this, and you get this foot weaved in, so you somehow weave your foot inside my thigh.
Yeah, so you.
What I would do is I would pin here first, and I would let my foot then come inside. So at this angle, you defended the heel hook position. Okay. When I hook, I can't let this side angle. I need it more vertical. So as I belly out, you see how I'm pulling your knee into me, and I'm keeping it directly like in my butt.
Yeah.
I don't want it to slide into my thigh. As it slides into my thigh, it's a pressure, but it's not calf slice.
Right. So
from here, I can use that leg to shoot it and kind of gather it back in straight line with my spine.
Yep.
Now I'm here.
Yep. Okay.
So you just got to kind of use your thighs and your arm that's attacking to make sure everything's lined up straight, because if it's at an angle, you're better off dropping back into a heel hook.
Okay. So more straight on.
You want the knee, you want the thigh to the shin going aligned with your spine. You want it going straight, because that way you know that your pressure is going straight, which is like your strongest body pressure you can do, going straight down and straight up, is you're going directly into the leg. You don't want it to go into the leg and it's at this angle.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Put some work there.
Yeah, I've been working it from Delhi Heat as well, and I haven't drilled it yet, but I do a lot of mental drilling, especially when I'm doing no-gi. Right now, the room is, some guys got some no-gi, not no-gi, but gi super fights coming up, so I'm working more gi. I have to do more mental reps with a lot of these positions, and then when I get the chance to show. But from K-guard, I was seeing a lot of guys are going K-guard, cross ankle pick when people try to really defend the K-guard, but you can also go K-guard into the calf slicer, and you can get a pretty good angle on it.
Can you show that? I also have,
Yeah.
I do have a question now that you said that, but show that one first, and then I'll ask my question. Reset? No, you good. No, it's all good, man. You good. Yeah, can you show that real quick?
So come up. So a lot of guys, they're going. I saw Nick Salas hit this at the last competition, or maybe it was Danny, but they were coming in here and they know the guy's going to defend, so they'll just drop. So as the guy's trying to step his leg back, they're just coming into the inside of it, and they'll either go Delhi Hiva or they'll just start attacking this leg instead. But in the same kind of thought process, if I'm trying to come here and you do step that off, if I come inside, I can just get the other leg, and now I'm here, and I can start it from false read into the calf slice, or I can go calf slice. Just have to be wary of the inside attack. And with that, it's just as long as I'm here and I'm crossing and bringing both feet back over. So if here, my legs exposed.
I got you.
Yep, my legs exposed, but I need to have that defended.
Correct.
And then from there, both come over at the same time, and now I'm in my position. I'm not too worried about the other heel hook, and if I am, I'll just fight really hard to weave it in.
I like that.
So now I'm here. And once again, like, the hands are planted, so if you want, wrestling up is always an option.
I definitely like what you showed, the roll. The roll for me, that's what I'm going to do.
So that works together with it. So I've been seeing that in my head, and I'm like, that looks like it flows really well. And then I have been hitting. I did a seminar in Virginia Beach. It was a gi seminar, but I was just doing the Delhi Hiva entry into the calf slicer. And the biggest thing, everyone thinks it's illegal, because the step over, but it's perfectly legal because their foot's behind the butt.
Yep.
So it's like I'll be in Delhi Hiva, and all I have to do is come in, and then I'm just throwing the leg over, and I'll just grab it. I'm already. It's like really easy to get in.
And you said you could do this in gi too, right?
Yes, it's no pressure on the knee. That's illegal because the foot's out. I literally sat. It was at Orlando Open. I sat on the side and pulled the ref over and did it on the concrete.
That's funny.
And he's like, "Yeah, it's perfectly fine because there's no pressure on the outside of the knee. You're not ripping the knee. The foot's out."
Correct.
That rule, the anti-Gordon rule that they made after he stormed Nogi Rose was, you can be here, but you can't touch this leg.
Right.
But that's only when the foot's in front. It's not considered a reap when the foot's out. You can't reap this. Because in the same aspect, if he does a leg drag, people do this kind of off-angle leg drag. This is perfectly fine.
That was my question. My last IBJJ match, the guy did something similar to this position here.
Like the guy did.
Yeah, but then he caught the straight ankle lock on the opposite leg. So I gotta watch the tape again, but I'm trying to think. He would sit there and learn, and he would play like this type of thing where he's acting like he's giving the leg to him.
Oh, but he had a really strong,
and then he kicked up.
really strong pull.
Correct.
That was like he just baited it because he knows.
Yeah,
that's
I felt
his
comfortable.
niche. Like a lot of guys have that when they'll play possum, but it's like they rep that ankle lock grip thousands of times.
Yep.
So normally they can give you a position you think is good, because it's like, no, you're coming right into my game. No different than what I do when I play the lasso and let the leg just be in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I want you to drop all your pressure and then I'm going to sweep.
Yeah.
It's a very similar position to where
attacking that is like, you have to respect every position as if everyone has something, but you also can't let that make you timid.
Correct.
You respect that there may be some